Jesus said, we both know you don't care about the poor. And then it says that Satan forcibly entered Judas' heart. So what that means is when you crack the door, the devil kicks it open. So the problem with offense is offense cracks open a door that was locked, and then the devil will take that inch and blow it off the hinges. So this is like a very important understanding. This is why I'm telling all of our staff and our teams, like, guys, as God increases our influence in the earth, as God opens up the opportunity for arena events, as we fill up Times Square, as these things continue to happen, as we release movies where thousands of people are canceling suicides, these worlds are colliding, and you have to stay unoffendable, because let me tell you, we woke up early this morning and there were hexes and there were the remnants of rituals in the parking lot right behind our church building here on Long Island. And we know that witches have been attending our services every week, and I can't wait till they get saved and delivered from all of those demons. And I can't wait. Matter of fact, some of these witches now in our audiences are gonna be some of our most powerful prayer team members in the next 6 to 8 months. Oh, I'm telling you. So they don't realize, they think they're here cursing us, but there's a barrier of the blood that you're never gonna get through. And the reason why you're here is because we're salt and light, and you're being attracted to the presence of Abba, your Father, and you're about to go from being spiritually dead to spiritually alive. But we came into the parking lot this morning, I'm getting pictures of the rituals and the seances, but I take it as a compliment, because all that means is we represent the opposite world that they represent. We're not walking together in fellowship. No weapon formed against me. Come on. You know the word? And every tongue that rises against me, he'll silence it. But listen, I ain't mad at you. Ain't nobody mad but the devil. I just have to stay unoffendable, because the witchcraft they did happened in our parking lot. It couldn't happen in the building. It's on the outside, but offense will let it on the inside. Come on, offense brings witchcraft on the inside, but as long as we keep that door shut, keep the door to offense shut. And see, when Judas said, we could use that money differently, it's like, you don't care about the poor, Judas. And the devil actually kicked the door off the hinges. It says in the Greek, I'm giving you the Greek in the easiest way possible. It says he forcibly entered Judas. Now it says the devil had already prompted Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything, and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table. He took off his robe. He wrapped a towel around his waist, and he poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that he had around him. And when Jesus came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, Lord, are you going to wash my feet? And Jesus says, you don't understand now what I am doing, but someday you will. No, Peter protested, you will never wash my feet. And Jesus replied, unless I wash you, you won't belong to me. And then Simon Peter exclaimed, then wash my hands and my head as well, Lord, not just my feet. Peter was not stubborn, he was strong-willed. And my proof of this is that when his theology got corrected, he immediately responded with humility. See, he was wrong theologically. He said, Jesus, you're not gonna wash my feet. Jesus, you're not gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna let you. And Jesus said, no, unless I wash you, you're not gonna be clean. I have to do this. And when Jesus corrected the theology of Peter, he said, in that case, wash my hands, wash my head, wash my whole body. See, the challenge of whether you are stubborn and rebellious or just strong-willed is how you respond when Jesus corrects your bad theology. And what I love about V1 college students, the ones that graduated, is they said, God, I'm willing to let you change my theology just like you changed Peter's theology. Wash my head in that case too. Wash my hands in that way. And what I love about this church is many of you have come to this church with thinking from Presbyterian and Baptist and Catholic and you non-denominational, and you come from Pentecostal churches. But when you got to this house, you have the heart of Peter that says, yeah, I'm strong-willed. Hey, listen, I don't want to be hoodwinked. I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to just listen to whatever you have to say and accept it. I'm not here to just blindly follow in that way. But when the Spirit of the living God confirmed to you an adjustment in your theology and your belief, you accepted it and said, well, in that case, God just washed my whole body. And I love that about our church. This church is not a place for people who don't want an adjustment in their theology. This church is not a place for pride, and it starts from the top all the way down. I told my accountability I'm going to live stream my next rebuke just so you guys can say, man, this is awesome. But I want to be like Peter that says, yeah, let's do this thing. Now, here's something else, just as I'm coming to a close. You know, do you remember when John the Baptist told Jesus, I'm not even worthy to unlatch your sandals? Probably what he was referring to was that in their society, one of the common experiences when you would go into the home of somebody who had more money is that they would have the lowest servant actually wash your feet, because they would wear equivalency to like sandals or whatever, and they're walking around and they're accumulating the dust and the dirt of that environment. So if you went to the home of somebody who was well off, they'd have multiple servants, and it was the lowest ranking servant. It's almost like they would be the ones from the toothbrush army that would be willing to scrub a toilet bowl with a toothbrush. And those would be the ones that, hey, you know, and now listen, now if you come to the Signorelli home and we have a servant come out and wash your feet, leave this church. That's weird, you know? Like, we don't do this nowadays. It would be super awkward, mainly because we're flexing our pandas. Like, my mom wears Jordans, you know, because she's cool like that, you know. So it's like we're flexing our pandas, and, you know, we walk from the door to the car to the grocery store. Like, we don't need a foot washing like they did. And so it's hard to recontextualize this for modern listeners. But this exchange that's happening, what Peter's really saying is, Jesus, if you wash my feet, it's like you're getting a demotion. If you wash my feet, it's like you're acting like the lowest servant in this entire house, and I can't let you do that. And then John the Baptist went even more humble, and he said, I'm not even worthy to unlatch your sandals. In other words, I'm lower than the lowest servant. That's what John the Baptist was actually saying. Like, I'm not even worthy to wash your feet, Jesus. And this is what begins to happen. Simon Peter explained, then wash my head as well, not just my feet. And Jesus replied, a person who has been bathed all over does not need to wash except for the feet. Somebody say that phrase, except for the feet. To be entirely clean. And you disciples are clean, but not all of you. He was saying a couple of things. First of all, he was saying Judas is not clean at all. Judas has given his heart over to the devil because of offense. He had an issue with finances. He had an issue with the way that we ran this ministry. And because of that, he cracked the door open and the devil forcibly entered. And so he's dirty all over.